I destroyed my boss's marriage after what he did. I didn't just get back at him. I made sure the life he built, the one he flaunted in front of everyone, came crashing down. And the best part, I didn't even have to lay a hand on him. I destroyed his marriage, piece by piece, until his wife finally saw him the way I did. If you think I sound cruel, maybe I am. But once you hear what he did to me, maybe you'll understand why I couldn't just walk away. I'm 32 now. But this started when I was 27, fresh out of grad school, landing my first real job. It wasn't glamorous. A mid-size marketing firm, open office, bad coffee, fluorescent lights. But for me, it was freedom, stability, a paycheck that meant I didn't have to crawl back to my parents' couch. And then there was him, Elliot, my boss. He was in his 40s, polished, the kind of guy who had charisma dripping out of every pore. Tall, broad-shouldered, expensive watch always flashing when he gestured. He had a way of making people lean in when he spoke, like every word he said mattered. And he noticed me. At first, I thought it was mentorship, the extra time he gave me after meetings, the way he complimented my ideas, the lunches where he'd ask about my big plans. I thought, wow, someone finally sees my potential. But potential wasn't what he saw. It started small. A hand on my back that lingered too long. Jokes about how ambitious women are dangerous in the best way. Late-night messages about projects that somehow always turned personal. And then one night after a client dinner, he offered me a ride home. I said yes. Stupid. Naive. Yes. He parked outside my building, leaned over, and kissed me. Like it was expected. Like I owed him. I froze. Pulled away. But he just laughed. Said, "Don't pretend you don't know what this is." That line haunts me. Because it made me question myself. Did I lead him on without realizing? For weeks I spiraled, avoided him at work. But the thing about men like Elliot is, they don't back down. He started punishing me, cut me out of meetings, took projects I worked on and gave credit to others, made little comments about my attitude. And when review season came around, he tanked mine. 5 minutes in his office and my whole career trajectory shifted. No promotion, no bonus. Just a warning to be a team player. I left that day shaking. Not just from anger, from shame. Because I realized he held all the power, and I had none. At least that's what I thought. You ever reach a point where the pain curdles into something else? That was me. The night I got home after that review, I sat in the dark with a bottle of cheap wine, replaying every smug smile, every time he brushed off my ideas, every time his hand lingered. And something snapped. I thought, if I can't beat him at work, I'll ruin him somewhere else. That's when I remembered something. Elliot loved to talk about his wife, not in a loving way, in a bragging way. Dinner parties, vacations, their lake house, their perfect marriage. He wore her like a trophy. And trophies, they're meant to shine. So, what happens when you scratch them? When you crack the glass? I decided I was going to find out. I started small, observing. He'd leave his phone face down in meetings, but sometimes notifications slipped through. Little pink hearts next to names that weren't his wife's. Quick glances, quick deletes. And then, one night after an office happy hour, he got sloppy. Left his phone on the bar while he went to the bathroom. One new message popped up. Can't wait to see you again. Same hotel? My stomach flipped. Proof. Elliot wasn't just sleazy at work. He was cheating on his wife. And that's when the plan crystallized. If he ruined my career, I'd ruin his marriage. For months, I became two people. By day, the quiet, hard-working employee who kept her head down. By night, the shadow tracking his movements. I followed his social media. Not his wife's. She posted everything. Dinners, vacations, charity events. I noticed when he wasn't in the photos. I noticed when she tagged him and he didn't respond. Then I started watching him. Literally. I'd stay late at the office, pretend to work. And when he left, I'd follow. Hotels, bars, different women, sometimes the same one twice. Always behind his wife's back. And every time I documented it. Photos, screenshots, receipts. At first it was about justice. But soon, I won't lie, it became obsession. I wanted to see how low he'd go. And he never disappointed. If you think I sound unhinged right now, maybe I was. But let me ask you, if someone stole years of your career, your dignity, your sanity, wouldn't you at least want to see them fall? It all came to a head one night at a company gala. Big event, black tie, all the executives there. Elliot brought his wife. She looked radiant. Perfect dress, perfect smile. And him? He looked smug, like he'd won life. I couldn't stand it. So I struck. I'd been holding on to everything I collected, and that night, I printed it. All of it. Photos, messages, hotel confirmations. I slipped it into an envelope, and while Elliot was making his big toast, I walked right up to his wife, slid the envelope into her hand, whispered, "Check the dates." Then I walked out. The next week was chaos. Whispers in the office. Elliot's door slammed shut all day. Then he stopped showing up altogether. Rumor was his wife kicked him out, filed for divorce, froze their accounts. His perfect life? Gone. I thought I'd feel triumphant. And at first I did. Seeing him reduced to nothing more than a rumor. That was satisfying. For a while. But then the silence hit. Here's the part I didn't expect. I thought ruining him would free me. Instead, it caged me. Because every time I closed my eyes, I saw her face. Not his wife, her. The girl I used to be. The one who just wanted a mentor. The one who believed she was finally seen. She was gone. I didn't just kill his marriage. I killed a part of myself too. And sometimes, when I lie awake at night, I wonder, was it worth it? Still with me? Then you might want to stick around for the ending. Because the last part of this story, that's the one that still makes my chest tighten. A year later, I got a message. From him. It wasn't angry, it wasn't threatening, it was simple. Congrats on the promotion. Just remember, I made you. That one line destroyed me more than anything else, because in his twisted way, he was right. Without him, without the way he broke me, I never would have done what I did. So even in his ruin, he still had power over me. So, yeah, I destroyed his marriage. I took his perfect little world and set it on fire. But at night when it's quiet, I still hear his laugh. Still wonder if maybe he won after all. Because he made me into this. The kind of person who tells a story like this and isn't even sure if she's the hero or the villain.